Hello Aries, how are you doing? I'm going to use my personal favorite deck today, Morgan Greer's. So I'm feeling a little interested in how that's going to turn out because it's got a lot of personal energy in it. And I gave a bunch of my oracle decks. I need to replace them. I think we probably want to break from the other major arcana decks that I've been using as oracles. So I'm pulling out the Divine Doors little oracle deck. So we'll see from simple messages how deep we go this time. And we'll just get right into it. Let's see how you're doing. I think what I'll do is I'll take, just to set the tone, let's get one door for now. These were popping out at me. I was hesitating, but as soon as I touched them, cards started jumping. And maybe it's just because it's been a long time since I've touched them. Okay, this one's slapping up. And we'll just sort of set them up here. This one, silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. I didn't read that very poetically, I'm sorry. Breathe in, breathe out. Let go of doubt. Okay, so we'll put that up there as energy. This one, though, is the one that's smacked up. I don't know how well we can see it, but bless this space. Your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Palo Santo or sage will clear the air. So we'll come back to that. So I'll just set that up as I would. And maybe we'll get a few more at the end, depending on what is clinking. I have candles clinking. Let's just fix that. Very good. And breathe into these cards a bit. Let's see. Sun is still in Pisces for about another week yet, at least. We're going to see how accurate charts are. If you have Sky Safari or Stellarium in your phone, Stellarium is available for desktop, Sky Safari is not, then you can keep track of real-time placements, and that's why you'll see that I'm right, that the sun is still in Pisces. There's every chance, like I always say, that you were born with a Pisces sun, not an Aries sun. In which case, just separate. Well, you know, I talk about my composite charts that I do. If you ever want clarification on what I'm saying, absolutely just get in touch and I will do my version of your birth chart for you. All right, so let's see how Aries is doing. Okay, well, there you are. A few cards. I find that this deck doesn't clarify with Tattoo Tarot terribly well, so I get really confused when I try to use them together. We have quite the story starting off. Okay, so there's you, King of Wands, absolutely, with your plan. Right behind you is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I would put this as Capricorn energy, career energy. Let's just say, even for now, let's skip the arguments between Virgo and Capricorn, and say that it's career energy, completion energy, home energy. I mean, obviously, there's more to it. This card also tells us that we know that there's more to life than what we manifest in this world. So it's a completion that's either home is wrecked, and maybe for the best or not, or there's just something that needs to be done, or there's some unhappiness we need to find out. Here's one of my favorite cards. Everybody else loves to hate it, but I love it, love it, love it. This Knave of Swords. He is the information gatherer. He is somebody that I am a lot of the time, and loves to be, doesn't mind being underestimated, picks his moments. picks his moments. People will say that he's there to spread shit around. I don't see why. The context would depend. So this could be somebody causing trouble. We have backs to back, both armed and ready. Now, of course, the knave does the king's bidding, but he does have a more independent energy than a knight. Probably willing to risk more in terms of his own interests. The knight doesn't have any of his own interests anymore. I mean, he does, of course, but he's pretty much a company man, right? So somebody has a plan looking that way. Somebody knows a heck of a lot looking that way. And in the middle, we have even the X's. Well, it's always sticking out, but let's find out. We're talking about that Palo Santo and Sage that can clear the air. Something flipped right in the deck. Messages. Fast progress. We've got that castle on the other side of the river that everybody wants to get to. 8 of Wands. So here we have the Wands energy. We're in the sweating it out phase of the progression from Ace to 10 of Wands. In terms of detail work, we're past a transformation. We're past the point of committing to this particular plan. And obviously we're in full king awareness and abilities. Now, and I'm putting it over this 10 in reverse. What is it? Okay. So this is coming down, facing that mess. Okay, wow. So something's in divine timing here. That's how I've always read the major arcana. That's a deal between me and my God and guides. Yes, I realize it can be archetypal energy, but one of our agreements is that this is usually to be interpreted as divine timing. So the sun for me represents instincts and triggers. Other people could say the ego, but I'm going to say specifically, I like to get specific because ego is too vague for me. I understand fully well what psychology has to say about ego, and I know how psychology developed out of torture programs. So specifically instincts and triggers. So obviously the happiness card. I'm really a moon person, so the moon is my happiest card. But clearly this is everything to do with, this is a very central story. This is very, where are we going to go to elaborate, really? We have the messages coming in, the progress coming in. There's a happy home on the other side of this river. But there is perseverance required, communications required. What else? Of course we have, I mean, it's more of your energy. It's more of your energy. Leo energy, creative energy, expressive energy. I have a 19, which is also going to be a 10, which is a 1 in reverse. So we have, yeah, the ending and beginning of something. Now, he's not necessarily speaking, right? He's waiting for a moment. I've got some cross energy. This is coming up fairly sideways. Okay, so something to do with free will. I take this card as a free will card because I take sixes as gifts. I know people say the aces are gifts from gods and guides, and I would say yes, they're opportunities, and I probably have everything to do with gods and guides. But sixes, I've decided, I understand everything. You can't just assign things numeric value and then undo the whole point of numeric progression, number progression, yes? So when an ace means this, a start, and a 2 means planning and collaborating or not, and then a 3 means manifesting, and a 4 means stability or being stuck, and a 5 means necessary change, right? I mean, these things are just, we have to stick with that. So 6, I determined after a necessary change, because changes are harsh, then we should get gifts from the universe, gifts from guides that are affirmations that we struggled for a reason, we did the right thing, and we're on the right track, because then we need to really commit to transforming into whatever it is that follows, yes? And so in order to be brave enough to transform, we need the affirmation of some kind of gift. Being earth energy, the Six of Pentacles, something was communicated to me in multiple personal readings with somebody that they wanted, that God or guides, this person wanted specifically to speak with God. Wanted clarification on just how much free will they had or how much of a soul contract they were bound to. And so this card was made for me to understand, at least on 3 different reading occasions, and this is several months ago, so I've been sticking with it for maybe almost a year, that this was indicating free will. It's coming out sideways. A gift of free will is a gift of some latitude and longitude in the decision making, in how you want to do what you're going to do, right? It's sideways, so it's going to depend on decisions that are made. Yes, there is an ability. Things have been forced into a certain situation. Yes, they have been. This was charted. Now it's either helpful intervention or you could be under attack from evil intervention. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sorry. Camera cut out. So yes, I got cut off and so I'm just backtracking. If there's a level of attack here, something is needing to be known. Something in order to make up your mind. So this guy, if it's you, there's something that needs to be found out. Something needs to be investigated, and probably in terms of the cause of what's really going on. Is it between you and this person, or is there something? Are you both being triggered? Yes. Now, and this could be divine absolutely as well, like helpful, because especially if it's something like a twin flame situation where we just trigger the shit out of each other in order to heal the triggers, until we are able to recognize the triggers. Yes. And even if it's not specifically a twin flame situation, but just two people that, push each other's buttons, but aren't even trying to push each other's buttons, and you're just trying to probably survive and get along, and the next thing you know, something comes up, right? And when you least need it to come up, and it's like, damn, that timing is so off, right? Why the hell? It's something like that, and in order to, there's probably a level of astrological knowledge that needs to be gained. Let's just see if there's anything else. It's quite an optimistic looking. Yeah, actually it is. The colors are really... Okay, 2 cards here. Right, okay. So there's a transformation that I'm talking about. This is, other people will say, trying to make a safe getaway, a quick getaway with what you can, saving what you can. This is the card of air, of thinking, of, sorry, different kinds of thinking, right? And it's that 7 that I was talking about that follows a 6. And here we have a 6 in reverse in the Wands energy, okay? Which is, that audience, that recognition, that laurel wreath of accomplishment, that praise, the visibility, the fame, the leveling up in everybody's estimation. Just that gift that after the conflicts of belief that you chose a certain identity and fought for it, and you're getting it, you know, the wheel is, you're making the wheel turn so that it brings you maybe not even the self-esteem, you already have that, but the reputation to come with it. Yes. So something's in reverse about that. Something's tied to this 7. So this is a transformation that follows, like there would be a 7 of Wands to follow the 6. Yes, that kind of transformation in identity. I'm saying identity, but we're talking ambitious and identity. The trouble you want to make in the world, the good trouble. Yes. And here is your communication style, your thinking styles, your ability to pull multiple kinds of thinking together and use them in, you know, an orchestrated mind. Your imagination, what are you able to do with your imagination? How wise. And so there's a definite kind of thinker that you're becoming, and it's throwing off people's perception of you. Something like that. Something like that. You're not as sure of yourself, perhaps, and you need this new gift to come through based on this transformation. And we have this other gift, this free will. So there's probably, yeah, there's unhappiness, to say the least, in this transformation, and it's going to be tied to this guy finding something out. But again, these are, I don't take them as, they don't have to be taken as negatives. They just are. They are the facts. And what did we, okay. Your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Well, what is your sacred space? What is your sacred space? And what did we come with this? Silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. Okay, so that's something to do with this. Before this progress, let's just, I'm going to see if there's any more tarot to get. This thing's falling out sideways. He popped out on the floor. Birth. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. Okay. Yep, let's see if there's any final thing, Aries. Probably. I wouldn't be... Okay. Cautionary card of this Knight of Swords, who is inclined to go charging in and speak harshly, act harshly. I think probably that's where this free will is coming in as well. You can do that. You can do that. Consider this transformation. Something, if you do that, it sets you into a certain role, a certain energy for quite a while. And you want to make sure that you're okay with that and carrying that. Because it's going to, look at how this sword is straight through that X. And we have like another X happening here. So... yes, I would say unpacking your mind. That was this one, yeah? Yep. Silent skill. Because there is communication. There is communication. Because this isn't going to be left to rot. Probably whoever else is involved is not interested in just, let's see, what do we have here underneath that one, and then I'll stop with that. Freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. And that's where you want. Very subdued colors, mellow colors today. No bright blues in these doors. I got these cards because I clean homes, and they spoke to me as, you know, as doors, as habitats. Okay, Aries, leave it there for now. Beautifully clear, and probably the answer is as clear as the reading. What will be is getting in the flow of it, you know, which you already know because you're so wise. All right, Aries, much love, and I'll be back in a week. And if you want a free birth chart workbook, the link to the download is in the description, and I've got guidance videos up and running for 3 weeks now. Join in anytime. Bye, Aries.